One of my favorite fights of all time was Gohan versus Cell. Can I get your feelings on Gohan versus Cell? What you think of that fight?
That was one of many fights through that arc that made me like the Android saga and the Cell saga the most out of all of Z. That's where the most change and maturity and the most big things all happen at once, is one that in that one arc there, or that one time frame.
Now, like, what was you thinking when you first read it? Like, did you think that Gohan was the one that who's gonna come and save the day? Like, what were your thoughts on Gohan versus Cell?
Well, I didn't. The way that I work, I don't get a chance to say read it. I sort of show up to the studio and they tell me what's going on. So my experience with it was later. When I knew what was going on, I never actually sit down and watch this, but I do understand what's happening. So when that happened, it was like, well, of course, it's not the guy who comes back in time. I ripped through the space-time continuum to fight this guy and couldn't beat him. So I was a little disappointed.
I love that he came out of nowhere, and that really is the moment you get to see him fulfill his potential, because he came out of nowhere because you were not expecting it out of him, because he had been so weak and vulnerable and helpless, and he had so much left to learn, but he still had so much emotion and passion and power in him, even with the breadth of what he had to learn after that he could get the job done in that moment. And that was just pure heart. So I love that moment.